Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here again with the E1500LFP. Let me turn on some lights here in the workshop so you can see better. Okay, so as you guys know, we have the E2000LFP full stack and we have the E1500LFP. Here on this channel, we put our money where our mouth is. If we like a product, we buy it with our own money. We purchase this with our own money, and we purchase this with our own money. The full sets of both. So we do like these two systems, and there's a bunch more, but these are our two main systems right now. These are also our biggest systems right now. Between the two of them, we have the load of the shop split in two, so we use them in together but apart, if that makes sense. Now there's a couple things that I like to talk about as far as the systems and what's really nice about them. So on this system, the exhaust is on that side, so the vents input are here. Now on this system, the E1500, the inputs are here. Now what's nice about that is you can actually put them close together like this, and since it's sucking air this way into both of them, that means the exhaust, hot air exhaust, if you have any, is going that way, and this hot air exhaust is going this way. Now that's really cool, guys, because that saves space. Now my shop is not very big. It's only about, oh, I don't know, maybe 10 by 12 or something like that. 120 square feet, very small, but you know, I fix a lot of small things. So when I get stuff like this in here, boy, it takes up a lot of room. So anytime you can save space, I think that's a huge thing. No matter how much space you have, if you can save space, because you know, you got to have, you know, big boys have big toys. You know, that's kind of the old saying, how it works. But we've been testing these out and using them for a while. I have the screens. This one automatically goes to the dim, but this one you can turn off in the app very simply. Let's use the app here and show you real quick here, guys. The app, I believe, really needs a little bit of updating. I think there's some quirks in there, and I've talked to some of the scribers already, and I think we all agree that we can help Pecron understand, being that this is their first app. To be honest, I'm surprised it works at all, because I used to program too for a long time, where it's either Python or XML, HTML. There's a lot of languages out there, C++, C++. It can really be a headache. So let's hope that they get a little bit more help on the programming side of the app. So here, if you go down here into, so you can see it's 29%. Output is about 70, 65 up there. So that needs a little bit of fine tuning as far as the accuracy of the meter. It should only bounce what's here over here, and then the input is about 370, and notice here it's a 366. So it's close, but it needs a little bit of tweaking there. Okay, so you go down here. I think it's the system settings here. Now there's not many options in here. Let's see here. Yep, brightness. Okay, so the very simple app. It's very straightforward. And notice, you know, I got to keep hitting these buttons. See this? So if you just hit this button right here, that's simple, just that one, and boom, now you don't have to monkey around with the light anymore. Oop, I went one too far. I noticed I've been doing that. I always click back one too many, and then I have to reinitialize the app. As far as like that menu that gives you, because you know they're going to have more systems. You're going to have the E300 coming out, hopefully, I don't know, the end of the year, January, February. We never know, guys. And then the E3600LFP, which I'm waiting for, because then you get a 15,000 watt hour. Okay, so notice that this one dimmed down really quick, so I got to hit the button. But notice this one doesn't monkey around. It stays on, guys. That's really helpful for when you make videos like this, so you don't have to keep doing this. But you know, this for me is good exercise, so I'll do that. So at least you don't have to goof around with that with the new one. So I'll be putting up lots of videos of these systems, guys. I like them. Like I said, I use them every single, now I use both of them every single day in my workshop. Let's put this bad boy right here, and then we can keep that active here. You can click the battery banks here, and you can see it in real time as far as, hopefully this wire is not in the way, guys. I hope that's not blocking the screen. Like I said, I don't have much here. I'll put it over here. Let's see if that works. There you go. Okay, so you have 17, 31, and 34. Now, this is what I noticed about the battery packs. The main system drops down approximately 15% to, well, that would be 17%. So it's, let's see, that would be 14 to 17% faster than the other two batteries. Now, the reason that's kind of bad is because it's going to cycle this system first. If these are 100% accurate. Now, being that we have a little bit of quirks in the, here I gotta hit the button again, in the software, I wonder if it's 100% accurate. So I'm gonna have to take, it says it's all 53.1, 53.1, 53.1. The big difference is obviously this is only 1500 watt hours and these are 3000. So that would make sense as far as the half, it's hard to say, half of the percentage, because it's half of the battery. You know what I mean? So hopefully when the E3600 comes out, that's all 3000, 3000, you know, all the way down. It'll be 4 batteries of 3000 and then the main system 3000, and it'll be a lot more even. Because it is using, if you look here, it says that it's bringing in 1.9 amp. See, that was it refreshing by itself there, guys, on the network. Whenever you see that little message pop up, that pops up from time to time. I don't know if that's the app's fault or my router is all the way on the other side of the building. So it has to go through, let's see, 1, 2, 3 walls to get to this the workshop in the back here. So that's just more testing we got to do. But here 1.8 in, 2.1 and 2.2. So that's the rate of power coming in, and that's times 53 volts times this amount of amps. So you got 2, 4, about 6 amps coming in at about 53 volts. That's about 300 to 350 watts approximately. And if you look here, that's very accurate. So at least we have that energy coming in. Now what I noticed is, let's see down here, this one down here is coming in. I don't know if I can bring this up. Maybe I gotta put the camera. Can you see it? Can you guys see that? Hopefully. Okay, so this one's coming in at 114 watts, and this is coming through the back door, if you will, of the batteries. I have that hooked to the number 2 battery of this one, and I'm doing a lot of testing, and because a lot of people have a lot of questions about these things, and I'm trying to get all the answers I can. That's coming in through the quote-unquote back door behind the meter. But the nice thing is this system auto corrects itself when you click the batteries together and everything. Way better than this one does, even though this one works, right? So I gotta hit the button again. This one does work. You do have to wait for it to finalize and update that power meter. Oh, see here it says device connection failed, and I think it's because maybe I put my hand in front of it or something. Let's see. Let's see, back to the home page. Okay, it says offline. I noticed too, guys, if you're too close sometimes, see how I put it, oh, see how I popped online? So I pulled it away from it, and it says online again. Now what that could be is you're actually too close, which it sounds crazy, but I've noticed that whether I'm further away from the router of the building or I'm too close to the actual unit. So I'm gonna have to test that. But notice if I click it again, it pops right back on. It takes a little second there, but it has to initialize, and then see it pop back on. We're at 30% up here now, so that's accurate. So instead, let's see, maybe we can put it over here. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to stay there. I can see that falling, guys. Okay, don't sneeze, it's going to fall. Okay, let's see if, being that it's away from there a foot or two, that maybe there's some interruption from, you know, you have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi coming out of this box, and maybe too close. You guys remember radios, obviously, you know, CB radios. For those CBers out there, guys, us old folks, we used to run around town, and it's called splashing. If you remember that, you'd pull up next to another CBer, and then your CB is, you know, 5 watts or more if you were a naughty boy, right? And then you could key up and you could splash whatever signal they were on, whatever frequency they were on, and override their CB. Now, of course, that's not cool. The FCC would frown upon you on that, but the power of that, because you're so close, would splash their CB. So let's see here. We got to click that all the time. See, we haven't had to click this once, guys. Isn't that cool? So if you do want to make videos, or you just want to keep this on all the time, it does burn up extra power, guys. It is nice that you don't have to, you know, do that exercise all day. So you know, if you're going to make videos or something, or talk to somebody or ramble. So let's see. The power is coming in 300, and then this is a 48 volt run. I believe this one is, let's see, I think it's an 800 watt array, so obviously the solar is not 100%. And remember, these panels are not set perfect, they're on an angle. Well, they're actually like this, and the sun is over here. So that's, you know, they should be like, not like this, but like this. You know what I mean? And then the sun should be up here. But the sun is actually up here, and the panels are this way. So if the panels are this way and the sun's up here, you can see that the angle is about 45 to 40 degrees, which is not good for a solar panel. It should be 90 degrees. You should aim these panels directly at the sun, the same way mom and dad told us not to stare at the sun. So when you have a solar panel, you want to stare directly at the sun. And then also you have this, which is the left and right, as well as the vertical, because you want to, you know, center that right up. A soup can works perfect. That's an old timer trick. If you just get a round soup can, you can narrow that in there without having any special tools. And you know what it'll cost you? $0. You can run into the house and grab a soup can, a can of beans or peas or whatever you got, corn, and throw it up there, and boom, you know, you're all good. And don't worry about it, because the solar panels, just don't scratch the solar panels, guys. That's the thing, because you know those are steel and aluminum cans, so you don't want to go scratching your solar panels. Just set it there nicely, and then you can, you know, do the, I think it's called azimuth and azimuth for a satellite. You can check the horizon and vertical, and then you know, zero that in perfect there. But all right, let's see what else we know. Oh, one thing I wanted to try on video here, guys, is I thought this would be a very big thing. I'm gonna steal this one here. This is, I'm charging my GoPro here with this. This is how I film all my videos, guys. That's why you see like a bubble vision. This one's actually smaller than that one. I don't know how it's going to show up on camera until I actually see it. But what I'm going to do is, this is hooked to the DC, and it was charging my GoPro. But I'm going to put this in. Hopefully you can see this up here. This is the Energizer, and this has a very special input. Now this is something I wish that more power stations have. I love it for power dumping. If you have those power bricks, let me grab one. Okay, so if you have something like this, what I can do is, if this has enough output, you know, the smaller ones, you can actually use this and power dump it into a small power station. So it has a power delivery port that's what's known as in any Audi, right? Like a belly button. It's an any Audi. So it takes energy out and it can put energy back in. So let's take, this is a 100-watt special cord. If you want the 20 volts at 5 amps, guys, you have to go out. So I gotta hit the button again. You have to go out and buy a special cord, okay? If you're not getting a full 100 watts out, don't blame the power station right away. Make sure you have the correct cord, USB-C power delivery cord, which is a 100-watt cord, before you say, you know, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, or whatever. Because I've seen a lot of people make that mistake. I've made that mistake before too, because I guarantee you these cords look identical until you plug them in. You see the difference, because it's all internal. There's a chip in there, and you got special wires in there, and even though they look identical, they're different. Kind of like the let's see, well, you know, any two cars look the same. What is it, the 2023 Corvette looks like a Ferrari to me, but obviously they're hugely different, and they'll show you that they're different on the receipt when you purchase one, which I don't have either one, but if you purchase one, you'll definitely know the difference in price. Okay, so I'm going to plug this 100-watt power delivery port into the input power delivery port of this Energizer up here. I use this as my test system. Hopefully you can see those numbers, guys. If not, I'll try to bring it down once it goes. So it's going to suck energy out through here and then put it into this little bad boy. And this is at 86%. Okay, here it goes. Let me, oh, this is kind of heavy here, but I'm going to try to hold it here so you can see in real time. Let me see if I can set it down. That's hard. That boy, that's like lifting weights there. Okay, so you got 69 here, you got 73, 78. So obviously it's definitely more than the 65 output of the problem with Pecron. Look at that, 98, 99. Guys, we got 99 outs. Now that's good enough for me. So I'll leave it up here. Fill that up a little bit. 99 watts, which is really cool, guys, because like I said, if you do want to trickle charge into a power station, even though that would take a extremely long time, right, a very long time, it's nice to have more options to get the energy inside these boxes. I am a big fan of options. The more options you have, even if you don't use them, because you never know, one day you might just jump up and say, I would like to use the power delivery port for whatever reason, right? And now you can put extra energy from one power station and what's known as power dumping from one into another one. I think that's a really cool thing. Oh, look at that, guys, look at that. See, 100 watts, 100 watt output. Okay, so this definitely works awesome. This so far. There'll be lots of tests, guys. I'm gonna do a lot of videos. So I gotta hit the button again. This great feature. There's so many. I'm making a list, guys, and I'm checking it twice for Christmas here. But I'm making a list of all the things that I notice. As we said many times, I think we're the only channel on the internet that actually has both systems and both full systems. So we know the absolute finalization of the entire systems and not just the system in one battery or just the system itself. I think that's a huge difference, because every time you add another piece to the puzzle, if you will, you could modify or change the behavior or the final what's the best way to put it here? The final answers, if you will, of said system, because you got more battery bank, which means your run times along. All your answers are going to change because you're upping. Take a car engine and you put I don't know, a Holly carburetor, and next thing you know, it breathes and runs better. You're upping the system. So as you add more parts, the system is going to react differently to all the answers of the quiz, if you will. So this is still coming out. Let's see, I got to refresh this here. It's still coming out at 100. So we know that can withstand a very long, steady outflow of 100 watts. Now notice this came down to 238, which means if I unplug this real quick, that should pop up to probably 238. Let's see. There's 330, 336, 331. Okay. Very close. Solar is hard to keep track of. See, this one's dropping too. So the solar went down a little bit, not much, just a little bit. So I got to hit it again, guys. Boy, that alone is worth this system over that one right off the bat, if you're doing reviews. All right, let's plug this bad boy in here. No, actually, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to plug it in this side now, because then you can see that. Remember, this is my old and trusty, if you will. This is the 2000 that I upgraded. I upgraded the parts because I really wanted, I didn't need, but I really wanted the version 2 of the system and not the version 1. I got the 120 volts now, and I got the true 100 watt output on the oh, I got to turn it on now, guys. See, I forgot about that. Which is nice with the app, guys, because on this system, if you just go like this, let's see, where is it here? Output. See, there you go. See that? Now I can turn that DC off with a push of a button. Now that's cool, because if I'm on the other side of the shop, or if I'm at my work desk there, I can actually see. Yeah, let's keep it over here, because like I said, I think if it's too close, I notice that it drops if it's too close. So all you computer guys out there, if you think that Bluetooth is affected by being too close, let me know. Let me know. Now notice this. Whoop, see, there we go. I knew that, guys. I knew it was coming. All right, where can we put it? Let's put it up here. Oh, you know what? Let's put it up here. Okay. Well, I need a bigger shop, guys. All right, time to build a bigger shop. Well, we just built this one, and now we need a bigger one. So now we have 345 coming in, and then we have 100 on this bottom one. Don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can. It's 100 watts. This is a 48 volt array that is 800 watts, and that's a 48 volt array. It's still very early in the morning, but the solar today I don't expect to be very good, because it's getting to be that time. The December, guys, seems to be, at least for us in our neck of the woods, the worst time of the year for solar. I think it's halfway through December and halfway through January. You get that time where the energy just, the sun's too low, it doesn't stay up long. Like summertime, that's my time, guys. It's nice outside. You get to go ride your bikes. You get to go, enjoy life outside if you don't have to work, hopefully, at least too much. We got to work to pay for all these toys, so that's the only, the only drawback in life is you want more toys, you got to go work harder. But longer days, more energy and everything. See, I got to do it again, guys. So I'm 100% happier with this just because of that so far. I wish that this had that option. Like I said, I'm going to make more videos, and I'm going to make a list of all the differences of what I like about this one over this one. And we want to do, so we just recently kind of understood and found out more about this premiering videos, guys. Remember, we're still new. We've only been in this internet thing for about a year now, and even though I'm a computer guy, I'm not much of an internet guy. You know what I mean? It's a different world, even though I've coded and stuff like that. But I've coded for web pages, many years ago, and started on the Commodore 64, and then the Apple IIe and the Apple IIc, and then Apple II Plus, and you get the extra RAM, and it goes on and on. But the internet is a different world than computers in general. Networking is a completely different world than computing, or program writing offline, or gaming, or all, it's all different worlds. And you only have enough time in life to focus on the ones you really enjoy. And right now I've fell into RC cars, and this solar has caught me by just, oh my gosh, it's like my soda Dr. Pepper. That is a that's a habit. I'll leave it at that. Oh, see, now it dropped down to 20. Oh, see, it went back. So it went to 27, and then it went back to 30. Now, did you catch that? You have to replay the tape, if you will. Go back to 10, 15 seconds. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you'll see that readjusted to the battery. So it went down to 27 and readjusted back to 30. So that means that this system is checking in on the batteries, it seems, all the time, which is nice, guys, because this one didn't do that. This one just kind of, you know, got to, it was all the way full, and then this would say like, you know, like 72%, but, you know, no more energy would go in, which means the system was full, and, you know, the meter had to catch up. You know, it was a little slow meter there. Yeah, that was one headache with this system. But we like it, guys. I like this system. I stand behind this system, and now I stand behind this system 100% so far with this one of what I've seen so far. And I've only had this, you know, a short time here, so you know that could change. You never know. But so far, I'm digging it, guys. This is a 48. Now, what I'm going to do live on film here, on camera film. I bumped my camera here. Hold on. Let me reset everything here. We had an earthquake here in the house. Okay, I think my cat walked through. Boom, boom. Okay, so this is a 60 watt run, 60 volt. Now we don't use high voltage, guys. Being that I only have about a year or two in solar, I don't want to jump up to, you know, the 90 and the 150 volts. You know, you could get killed messing with stuff like that. So I'm going slow as I can, and I'm learning all the safeties and things that you can do and you can't do at my own pace, if you will, and that way you feel a lot more safer. So I'm going to unplug this one. Now notice, guys, that you know those spinny things. This is not the cable for this system. This is just one I had laying around. I have two of these from the old system. I think two of these, because these have these little twisty things that can lock on the little spindles up here, and you can actually thread it on there and lock it for safety. Notice that this one does not have that anymore. So I don't know if I like that or if I don't. I do like the batteries. The batteries have a nice, you know what, let me see if the batteries have changed. I didn't even think of that. Give me 1 second. Okay, guys, so the batteries on the bottom, let me get down here. Yeah, okay, so the batteries, the EP, the Eric Pauls, and one of my subscribers came up with a name for the old ones now. It's Eric Bob. So I guess they named the battery after me now, one of the subscribers. So we are going to have like Eric Bernice, or, you know, just to make sure that people don't buy the wrong battery. But this is now the Eric Bob battery, and this is now the Eric Paul battery. So it's Bob and Paul, so say hi to each other. The batteries still have this threaded thingy on there that threaded the, I don't know what you call it, the spools, you know, like a screw and a nut. But the cables that they gave us, I don't know if they have these, because I didn't need them, guys. They're over there. I'll have to check that. I don't want to pause the video and run and go get that, because I have probably a 50-gallon Rubbermaid kind of bucket full of solar parts, as you can well understand, because I have stuff all over the workshop here. But I'm going to check that and see if that they gave you the screws for the batteries, because I think that's a really nice thing to have. And the screws on the batteries stick out very far, so you can actually get the threads on. That was a problem with this one. I think as the system heated up over time, the plastic expanded, kind of as plastic does, right? Plastic can expand and contract. A lot of people don't know that. And that way the threads actually kind of sunk into the system, because the plastic kind of bows, especially if you put stuff on top of it like we do. You know, you don't want to put too much weight up there, but it all depends on how you put the weight up there. I don't recommend it, but if you're going to, I'd recommend using obviously the corners, because that's where the strength is, guys. You know, the legs of the house, the corners of the house is much stronger than the center of the house, if you will, unless you have a center post, right? So if you're going to put them, I know it says, you know, one of the subscribers also, I know I ramble a lot and bounce around, but one of the subscribers said that the owner's manual says don't put heavy things on top of the batteries. Guys, the batteries are designed to lock together, so you can obviously put the two batteries on top of each other. And we've had this sitting here for a year, and you can see there's no problem with it. It's not very heavy. This is about 50 pounds, and this is about 40 pounds. It's actually 48 pounds and about 40 pounds. It hasn't bothered at all, you know, as long as you're on the structure. Of course, I'm on the corners. And you know, they were saying that you know, the manual says don't put batteries, something on top of the batteries. Well, what they're referring to, guys, is like how we had it. You know how you had them stack up to the ceiling, because we didn't have that much room. We had to put them somewhere. That's probably not the best of ideas. So that might have been why the threads kind of sunk into the system too, is the extra weight on top of it. So just something to know ahead of time. I'm trying to get all the information out there as I can on these systems. Here we're 31%. Notice that the solar kicked off. But the solar down here, okay, I don't know if you, hopefully you can see this, guys. It's still coming in at 118 watts. Now, what we were going to do, so it's going in there, and then the voltage will change. Still got 120 volts. But this will go up as the whole system, because this checks in on the other batteries now, rather than this one is just kind of like a slow, if you will, and it doesn't understand. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out this 60. Now I'm going to hot swap it, which I don't recommend, guys. I do hot swap from time to time, and I don't recommend it, guys. If you don't know what you're doing with solar, make sure you have some kind of a cutoff switch or anything. My switches are on the other side of the room there, that you can actually turn the energy off these so you don't get any problems or shocks. So let's see. Now notice that there's energy coming in my second battery, but notice that it's still coming out, let's see, at 100 watts here. So I'm getting in about 100, I don't know, 100 and something on this one here. Actually, I'm not going in the batteries anymore. I'm going in these two. Boy, easy to get confused. So I'm bringing in approximately, let's see, about 100 and something on this run. And then, because I think there's not good solar out there, as you can see. And then I'm using 100 of it to put out to the Energizer up there. So we're going to put the 60 volt in here real quick, and we're going to see how that reacts in real time. The reason I want to do that is, see how it activated right away, guys? Hopefully this isn't in the way. That's nice because it lets you know that the polarity is correct and the system is ready to bring in energy. But notice it doesn't just throw the energy in there, guys. I like that. Like the E1500LFP, it doesn't, you just don't hook it up and it just starts, jamming energy in there. Notice there's a delay. I like that because it's checking to make sure, see, it's checking to make sure that everything is correct, the same way that your car lights pop on and go, hold on, don't be just driving nowhere, let me check the whole thing. And if your system is good, you hear the ding 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 when you turn the keys and all that stuff, and it does like a system checkup. Now notice off a 60 volt array, this is 600 watts of the Harbor Freight panels in series of 3, and then those two series of 3 are in parallel with each other, and that's bringing in 445. Now I think I might leave that over there because I like that number better, and I'm using this more output than this one. I'm actually using more this time because when I'm in the shop, but at night this one uses more because it has a security system and the other stuff and the fridge hooked to it, so you'll see that pop up a lot more. See, good hands, Bob. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna put this up here, guys. And what we're doing is we're making a spaghetti mess, which, if you're gonna make a mess, you might as well make a spaghetti mess. So notice that that'll jump up. So I have, this is a 48 volt and this is a 48 volt. I believe now that these two are those ones that I have like this on the fence for temporary testing. So now 500 on these two, so about 250 and 250. Now remember, these are 800 watts of panels, those RECs. So that's the kind of power that we're coming in. It's maybe 30 to 40% because the sun today is just not cooperating because, hey guys, that's December. December is a pain unless you go out and literally move your panels every 9 seconds, it seems. So you got 444 coming in here. You got 139 coming in on the bottom down here. Hopefully you can still see that. 140 it dropped down. Solar is up and down, guys. That's the solar game. You'll never, I noticed this, guys, in the last year or two, you will never be 100% content on the energy that you have coming in. This becomes a game. If my old gamers out there, the Pac-Mans and the Donkey Kong generations, we never beat the game, but we had to beat the high score. Kicks, Jumpman, all these old games back in the days. Boy, I can make a channel on just video games. Holy cow, my knowledge of video games. But you always try to beat your highest score. So do this, guys. If you have a little notepad like I do here, I got my little notes here, and I took Mrs. Ramblin Bob's little notepad here with the sloths. She loves sloths. And I make my little notes here, and that way you can learn about your system rather than just turning it on and using it. That's a powerful thing if you understand, like your car. A race car driver understands fully what the car can do and what it cannot do, so you don't put yourself in a situation that could damage, hence, your car, your systems. If you know that this can only put 2,000 watts out, guys, then you pay attention and you don't go over 2,000 watts. Now this, what I've seen, go all the way up to 2,500 watts for a short time and 2,400 watts for about 2 minutes. Now that obviously is a much better inverter in there, right? That's I'll take this one over this one. But the drawback of that, guys, is as technology, power is drawback sometimes. Being that this is a bigger inverter means it's more power hungry. So depending on what you need for your system, like I think an ideal system for camping, This is great because this goes up to 1200 watts. If you could hook the EBs or the EPs, the Eric Bobs or the Eric Pauls up to this E1500LFP through the battery link, I think that would be a monster system for camping, because you don't need, you know, thousands of watts of power for camping. You need a laptop, maybe some lights, maybe a fan, maybe a bug repellent, you know, whatever you got there, one of those little shocker things, and then you see the mosquitoes fall down like it's like it's Vietnam all over again. But that's a bad joke. But it's something that you don't need. Is, you know, you don't need to bring all it is. So you can bring one of these and you have it hooked to a 400 watt solar, or even a bigger foldable panel, like we got the two Pecron PB300s. That's 660 watts, so you normally get 400 easy on that when it's hooked to this little bad boy, and that's the max input of this one. Is 396 is the most I've ever seen, but it's rated at 400 watt input. But 4 watts, what do you do? So I lost 4 watts on it. That's not a big deal. Like this one, I'm surprised it actually, well, it's coming out at only 9 watts here. So let's see, 11 watts. Let's see if it's, maybe it's full. I haven't used this one in a while, guys, so I don't know if the system slows down. It says 9 watts. So let's pull this out. Let's close this here. Let's turn off the DC output on the E2000. We're going to go over here to the E1500. We're going to see what this bad boy can do. We're going to go up to the 100 watts. Okay. And we're going to see what that does. And maybe, like I said, this system I don't know that much about. We don't use it much. It's neat. But the power, let's see, I can't even make it stronger. The power that these can do compared to this, we use these much more. These are great for if you got to grab and go. Now, see, notice it. Oh, yep, see, it went to 100%. So the meter even on this one was goofy. And that's normal, guys. With unless you have a very, very expensive quality. You know, like the what is it at the gas station? There's the government company. I think it's is it NIST or something like that? Is it National Institute of Standards and Technologies or something like that? And they come in and they measure what a gallon is on the gas pump, make sure you're getting a fair share. So it takes something like that in the electronic world. You can go out and you can buy, you know, something like this. And this is good for a real quick idea of, you know, what you're using, how much you're using. It's great for the average homeowner, but if you're a professional in the trade, you usually wouldn't get caught dead with something like this. You'd have a very expensive fluke or something like that you're running around with, or a very expensive, you know, clampy meter where you can actually get a better reading that's more accurate. So, but the average user, average homeowner, this is a monster steal at like $10. They're on Amazon. We have like, I think 4 or 5. I think we have 5 of these. These are awesome, guys. If you don't have that, I highly recommend one of those. Okay, so here we're 31%. This says 31%. This is 500. See, I got to refresh that, guys. I like this. I like Pecron. Good job. I didn't even think of that as an option, guys, to have the screen stay on, but you know what? I'm digging it. I'm digging it a lot. I noticed, I don't know if you can see this, there's actually a picture of the hole on the flap. I thought it was a nice touch. It almost looks like, when I first opened the box, it looks like there was a, you know, it wasn't covered. And any kind of input or outputs for that matter, I like these flaps, right? I like those. Pecron, put them back on. Okay, please. Spend $5 and put those back on, please. Especially your E3600. Make sure these flaps are on there. I'll be mad if they're not. But I like that. It keeps the dust out, right? So, because you notice I always dust the system screen all the time, because you can never keep a screen clean. That's just part of the game of electronics. That electromagnetic static stuff, it just brings dust towards you. So now that Energizer is full at 100%, I can turn that off here. And there we go. And then I can put this bad boy up here and see if that affects it in any way. But we'll have to do more testing to see if it's too close and that affects that. You know, just being too close. You know, sometimes, like I said, you put 2 CBs too close together, they don't work. They have interference because, you know, signals in the air, even though you don't realize it, there's millions and millions of signals, possibly even billions, that are zipping right past your head that you don't even realize it. And if you had the, you know, the correct technology, you could literally turn on a scanner device and you can see just hundreds, if not thousands, millions and billions of different frequencies and channels and information zipping back, banking information, all kinds of crazy stuff's going through the air, guys. Now you have smart meters on your house too. So I wanted to put our smart meter, guys, is right on the other side of this wall on that side. So it's probably about, I want to say, maybe 10 feet from this one and about 8 feet from this one, if I can. That's just a guesstimate. But I wanted to see also if that smart meter had any effect on this thing. A lot of people didn't test that. because you know, interference of Wi-Fi, guys, like CBs, they don't like each other sometimes, and they do that splashing thing, right? You know, it's a frequency splash where it goes like this and hits certain frequencies on the way up the band. But yeah, so far, guys, we like this one. I can't wait to test this, guys. We haven't tested this yet because we don't have. I want to get a diesel heater, guys. I really do. I've been, you know, talking them up for man, months and months. Put a little heater out there, you get super heat, but now you can run it off here. You can run diesel heaters off the batteries, that's fine, but it would be nice to run it off the main system, and that way you have the power meters on the old one that keeps up, well, this one doesn't have the XT60 out, but this only has, I think, 120 watts out max, I think, well, per port anyway, and then this one can go all the way up to 30, so that really would help start a diesel heater, because, you know, they're very power hungry at first, very amp hungry, as far as the amperage, but that one obviously doesn't have it. So as far as, I suppose I could take this off, guys. I'm going to take this off now, because I want to have them look like twins here. Now this has been on there for a very long time. Hopefully it'll come off clean. I was going to get, oh, look at that, there's half of it. The reason I labeled this guy is the same as the Oukitels that we have here, is we bought more than one of them. Now I don't think, oh, there it goes. Oh boy, see, I shouldn't have done that. Now I got to clean that up with some Goo Gone. The reason I do that, guys, is to make sure that I have some knowledge of which one I bought first and how many cycles they have and things like that, and then that way I know which one is the older one, which is the newer one. But I don't think I'm going to buy any more of these now, because if I do buy another one, I guarantee it's going to be the 3600 LFP, but I'm going to continue to use this one, and the only decision I have to make now is once I get the 3600, someone was saying in the comments too that the new one is probably going to be about $1,300. I think that's incorrect, but hey, I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it is. If it is, well, I'll buy two of them. That would be extremely cheap. That would be about 36 cents per watt hour. Now, guys, that's pretty dang low. These are in the 40s and 50 cents per watt hour, depending on the sale and everything, and that's very low. So I don't know if they're gonna you know, give us a super Christmas gift after the holidays here, and you know, release that system at $1,300. That would be insanely good. But I doubt it, only because, like I said, the systems that they have now, this one is about I think 50 cents average right now, and that's what's, you know, sale or not. And then this one can go down to about I think it's was it 40, 48, 49, something like that. You know, they bounce all the time, guys, but I would say 40 to 50s in the cents per watt hour, guys. So I can't see the newest technology going down that low. But hey, let's hope I'm wrong. I'll be the first one to eat my own tie if I'm wrong, and I'll buy two of them, like I said. And then, you know, maybe I'll give these away or sell them, who knows, or keep them. You know, like I said, I still use these both, and you can see that I'm drawing 100 watts and I'm drawing 63, and then when the fridge and the freezer would kick on, that'll jump up to like 600, 700, 800 watts. I haven't had a single fault on this system as of yet. If you look in the alarm records, now you can clear this every day, of course, but notice that there's no data, and this is a real video in real time. So let's see here. I think that's a very, very simple app. I'd like to see that updated, guys. Yep, see, there's not much to do in there, but, you know, for beginners, this is perfect. So you can learn the basics and then work your way upwards. You know, I like that. Let's see here. Yep, see, there's really nothing. So alarm records, let's see, let's go back here out of there. And then you have this one, the bell. I forgot that's where it is. So if you hit the bell there, this is a notify, alert, and oops, there you go. My fingers do not work on these phones. Okay, so alert or fault. Notice there's no messages, guys. And I don't know if you can clear those or not, because I've never had one yet. So when I do, if I ever get one there, I'll show a video of that and show you how to, if you can delete them. I assume you can delete them. My Bluetti, you can read it and then you delete it default. You know, after you've you know, taken care of the problem, and then you can, you know, move forward in life and fix the headaches, and then, you know, not do that again. No, don't replicate the same problem that you had the first time. But yeah, so far, guys, I know it's a long video, but I can't say enough. The dollies, guys, the dollies on the bottom, the Harbor Freights, it's a must buy, guys. If you don't want to spend an extra $150 for the trolley with the handle. If you're going to use it and you drag it around, guys, I'd recommend just the system, not the system and the battery, because it does get a little bit flimsy. I've had other viewers that have talked about it. Hopefully Pecron can kind of beef up, if you will, that trolley and make it a little bit more strong so you can carry this whole. Now that's a lot of weight, guys. This is 170-ish pounds and this is 160-ish pounds. Either one, you don't want to go lug it on your shoulder. You know, this isn't a boombox you had back in the 80s. This is a lot of weight. It's like carrying a person on your shoulder. You know, so that would get very tiring and boring fast. Yeah, so I'll keep doing the videos, guys. Oh, with the thing, I know I rambled too much. It has a picture of a hole. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get over here. See, it has a picture on there of the hole, of what it looks like inside. So I thought that was kind of weird. I don't know why they did it. Maybe just to let you know, hey, it's over here. But here I thought it was a hole and it didn't have one of those flaps. Now I knew I talked about that a while ago, but you know, my brain gets it jumping, and I gotta lasso it in, and hence the name Ramblin'. But yeah, so far so good, guys. There, I got 440 coming in here. We're at 32 when we started this video. What was this, 27, guys? We'd have to go back and see. Oh, this one's on voltage here. Just remember to also, guys, if you hit these buttons, notice that this is 26.8 volts. So it's a 24 volt battery pack, and this is a 53 plus. So this is a 48 volt battery pack. They are not compatible in any ways, guys. Do not hook any parts of these together, because you will have a bad day and possibly a new hairdo. So you don't need to go down that road. Trying to think of anything else. I haven't tried this yet. I don't do barrels much, guys. The inputs, those are the old, you know, like little tiny solar panels and whatnot. If I could have one of these, and if I can have a USB dual, which is an input output, I would love. Pecron, please, if you could put that technology on any of your systems, that would be awesome on this one. That would have been a huge upgrade to that one. If you could have power dumped 100 watts into this bad boy, because it's only 614 watt hours in there, and you could fill that in 6 hours from the big one without having to hook. Now, how I do it, guys, is let me see. I gotta grab it over here. I gotta figure out where the heck it is. I grabbed this one, guys. This is how I power dump it. I don't think it's going to work because I think it's full already. I believe the system is full. Hopefully that shows up on video. It's way up there. Yeah, see, I got to turn that up here. So we don't, it's kind of like power dumping and charging at the same time. Let me put this way up there. Hopefully you can see that. Holy cow. Here I got my lunch on the table, so I apologize. So if you put this bad boy in here like this, now it's not going to work, like I said, because this system is already full here. But this one is, you could put in the input up here, and here, let me turn this off here. Okay, and then you plug this in here. Oh, no, that's the Bluetti one. This is the 7909. So that's something to watch out for, guys. That could have been a costly mistake here, because the polarity could have been reversed on there. So you have to make sure. I'm going to start labeling all these guys, and that way you don't pick up the wrong one, because they have 5521, they have 5525, they got 7909. This stuff will make you pull your hair out, I'll tell you what. So we'll put this in here, and you'll notice that, let's see, you got to turn on the DC now, and let's see if that even turns on. So see, it activated, but I don't think it's going to draw any energy. Maybe it'll top it off just a little bit, just so you can see how we power dump it. I'm not a fan of cigarette outputs, guys. They get too hot, they're unstable, and they're unsafe. Notice how much it wiggles. That's not a good port. You know, it was good back in the 1980s and 70s, but we've moved on, and I can get the same amount of energy out a 100 watt power delivery port USB-C as I can this thing. Almost the exact same. So notice how it's not going to do anything, guys, because it's already at 100%. But it just gives you an idea of how we do it. We never tell you what to do. We only show you what we do, and that way you can learn from either our mistakes or our winnings. So depending on you know, what you want to do with your power station. Let's see. So we're 53 here. 26.9. Oh, you know, real quick, this one, when you hit this one, notice the difference here, guys. You have 120 volts and 60 hertz, right? On this one, you have 120 volts and power factor. Pecron, I would love to see, I don't know if you can update this through a firmware update. I would love to see this go on. Guys, don't change your hertz. If you live in North America, leave it at 60 hertz unless you know what you're doing, because you could damage all your electronics by dropping this down or changing that. And that goes with the voltage too. Don't go dropping that and putting it up and down, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to hurt it. The system, or you know, your items that you have hooked to it. But I would love to see the power factor over here, guys. I would like to see this gone, because if you never change it, right, you don't care about it. That could be a background thing. That just shows you the pure sine waves at 60 hertz. But what I would like to see is this power factor over here, so you can see what kind of power usage you're getting as far as the power factor, how efficient you're using that power, rather than this, because this never changes, guys. So to me, I think that the 60 hertz is a useless thing to have on the display. It would be nice if maybe they had a little one over here that says 60 hertz or 50 hertz. Maybe we can do that. Maybe a Pecron update, guys. Put the hertz over here in a small, and then the big one, put the power factor back. I like that. So, that's an upgrade for this one that this doesn't have. Now, notice on here, I noticed if you hit the output, notice it says power factor 1 PF. Now, I'm assuming that's power factor because, well, it's the voltage and the hertz. See, 60 hertz, 119 volts, power factor 1. Well, I can assure you that the items that I'm using here are not like a heater or a light bulb. So that power factor, I believe, is wrong. And I really don't, being that I'm kind of new in technology like this, I don't know the best way how to check the power factor without actually having one of these. Now, I don't want to, this would check the power factor, but I don't want to unplug this and plug it back in. You know what? Oh, heck. Let's do it. Let's see if we can do it here. Because I have to reset my stuff in the other part of the shop here. So we're going to hot swap this, which guys don't do. Turn off your stuff. There's nothing very important hooked to that. So see that power spike? That is 500 watts out. Now, obviously, because I unplugged I believe that's the freezer or the fridge, and then that'll drop, because what happens is when you unplug a compressor, it doesn't like that. So it uses, see how it dropped? It uses a ton of power to get back where it was. It's kind of like restarting a car. You use a ton of energy to restart it, and then it comes down to idles. So now notice it's back to where it was here. So that was definitely a compressor either on the fridge or the freezer. So let's go through the functions. And this is where this little box will come in handy, guys. So here's your total kilowatt hours. Here's your voltage, and see, here's your 60 hertz. So you can have it on there, and then see, here's your power factor, guys. So notice that this power factor here is a live moving power factor that says 0.55 to 57 at about 0.7 amps. Now notice that jumps around because, guys, power is not stable. It's never really stable. It always can move. But notice on here, guys, it says power factor 1.0. I think that's deceiving because, like I said, you're not going to get 1.0 power factor when you have compressors, and this is hooked to a security system and whatnot. So there's stuff on there that is not using that power 100% efficiently. I don't know the word, because obviously it's not a pure resistive load like a heater or a light or something like that, where it uses 100% to turn it into heat. But oh, I hit the button with my big old fingers here. So we're going to go back here, and you're going to see that the power factor, now this is good because we refreshed the whole app, so if it did change, it should show you. And notice it says power factor 1. Maybe maybe these are not active, or maybe they're in the background, but that's one more thing that we have to update on the app, guys, is to get this power factor to give real time. You can check the, let's see here, you could check it's watts overload. That's the watts coming out now. Kilowatts. Okay, so there's your voltage. Now notice the voltage on here says 119, and this is actually 119.4. Having that tenth of a volt there is really nice because you get a more accurate representation. But that's not much of a difference. 119 to 119.6 is not much, but it's nice to see that. Okay, so let's see. Now we're gonna let's unhook this here. Okay, so now that we know that that power factor is not accurate on that system, so we're gonna put this back in. You're gonna see this jump up crazy again because remember, that's the compressor. When you unhook it and go back, it's going to use a ton of power because it's unhappy that you took its power source away. But notice that power factor, guys, is 1. Now that power factor would be very low because that compressor is not a happy camper. But see, it didn't change. So Pecron, we need some updates on this, guys. I'm not writing code for this stuff. I'm all done with my code writing days. They used to say in code writing days, guys, you used to have a bottle of aspirin and a bottle of Mountain Dew. For you guys that started on Apples and Commodores and stuff, big 20s, you know that if you finish the jar of aspirin, this is a joke obviously, before you finish the jar of Mountain Dew, that tells you what kind of day you're having your coating. So if you finish the Mountain Dew, you're happy the code works. If you finish the aspirin, it means the headaches are coming. That's an old joke, guys. Don't be eating aspirin. Yeah, that's something that they have to work on here. You know, a little bit of coding update. Like I said, this is the first. You know, it's the first one. I didn't expect it to work much at all. I really didn't. I didn't have high hopes for the Pecron app, guys, because any company that makes a product for the first time, you know there's going to be bugs. Now, yes, they should have had them all worked out before they released the system. I agree with that. However, you know, like cars, you know, they're recalling Teslas, they're recalling Fords. You know, remember that Chevy Volt? That sucker was like exploding. Okay, guys, sorry about that. You're going to see this big jump in the time frame here. It's actually nighttime. So when I was editing the latest video that I did with testing these bad boys, I out-rambled the battery on the GoPro. Go figure that, huh? That's to be expected. So the plug fell out of the GoPro when I was charging it, and of course I ramble longer than batteries last. So I just want to give a quick update. It's been on the entire day. We've been trying this for a long time. We were talking about the Chevy Volt and all this stuff. So you know, when you get a product, if it's a new product on the line, I always recommend waiting for either version 2 or don't be the first to jump on technology, because there's always updates. A lot of people don't know that when you buy a video game or even a movie, do you know that they have updates for video games? A lot of times you have to download the updates for video games. But back in the days, if you look at PlayStation's, oh my gosh, Xbox 64, even Nintendo, even Atari, okay, there's revisions that they call. So it could be even Pac-Man had revisions, and a lot of people didn't know that. Technology always has revisions, and they don't clearly write that on the box. As in this model, if you guys remember the E2000, this had a revision and it wasn't noted anywhere, but this channel had brought that light information to the people so they can make an educated decision. And that way, if you're out there and you want to buy one of these used, say your neighbor's selling one of these, you can very simply check right here by hitting that button. See 122 volts? That means it's a Generation 2 board in there. And this one, I believe, is, yep, see, it's already 120. But, so, you know, little things like that, guys, that with technology, don't be the first to jump on the bandwagon and then kind of get upset, because it's the inevitable. It will happen to every single aspect of life as far as technology. Every, phones, computers, obviously solar stuff, even panels, solar panels have reversions in them, and they don't always list them clearly on the box or in the manual or anything, but you can easily see them by testing stuff, as we did here. We figured out that 65 watt, we figured out the 110 volts, we figured, you know, there's a lot of things now that if you buy the system now, we still stand behind this system 100%. We love the system. It's on every single day. As you see, it's still going. You know, the revisions now, because of possibly this channel and our subscriber family and our group, you know, our little community we started here, we've been hammering Pecron and the other companies to say, hey, you know, this is what we want, this is what we need. And you know what? They're starting to listen, guys. They're starting to listen. At the price point of what these systems are, both of these here, this was, and this is obviously when we bought them, this was $4,500, and this is a $3,500 system. Together, that's $8,000, right? Now, my favorite system probably in the world right now is the AC500 with all the batteries. That system is about $15,000. But look what I have, guys. That's an 18,000 watt-hour system. This together with these two is just under about 8,000, right? Just under $8,000. That's 50% less than the Bluetti model. Now, I love Bluetti. I really do. I'm on their website their live stream 2, 3, 4 times a week, depending on how many they have. And we always try to build a community between ourselves as far as helping people understand this technology. If you have a question, someone else might have an answer, and that's how you learn things. Don't be afraid to ask. If you have a goofy question and you think it's a dumb question, it's not. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. So, legitly leave a comment and things like that. If you found a new way or a better way to do something, oh my God, leave the comment, because that you have no idea what that could do in a community. That could help tens, hundreds, or even possibly thousands of people use their technology better. Just like the revisions. Now, this little bit of information, that's kind of a little quietly, secretly held secret in the electronic industry is that they have these revisions, and you don't know about them until you look at either maybe the serial number or the coding. If you think about, like, remember way back in the days with AOL, they had AOL 1.0, and then they had 1.1, 1.2. Well, those are called revisions, and they're updating the software, so it can adapt to the changes of life and society. So these have obviously the same thing, guys. So if you have a different version or something is different on your model, there's probably a reason for it. There's revisions out there, and I don't know, but I don't think that it's mandatory in other countries. I know it is here. You have to, if you update your software or programming or even your hardware, you have to I don't know, I think it's an FCC thing. You have to, like, let them know that, that the revisions have been made. But in other countries, guys, they don't have that, okay? They don't have the regulations like we do in this country and in the USA. So, they can update a system and not even put it in the owner's manual or something like that. So the more people that talk in a community, see, I obviously turned that off, right? The more people that talk in a community, the more stronger information database that we can gather as a team and help each other out with all this stuff. Because, guys, learning this by yourself, as I know firsthand, it'll drive you goofy some nights. I mean, you'll sit there and stare at it and go, "Oh, I don't understand why yesterday it worked and today it didn't work." That kind of thing. And then you find out, "Oh, I didn't put the button on." It's something that simple. And one of our scribers could say, "Hey, did you turn the button on?" We're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that silly button." Yeah, look how fast they turn off, guys. I like that. That can stay on. I forgot to turn it off. All right, guys, if you're not a scriber, get up there, hit that button, man. Join the family. It's a scriber family. It's a group a small community of people, which we hope to get one day, a large community of people, and then everyone can help each other figure out questions, problems, answers for all kinds of things, whether it has to do with revisions or whatever. But that's what we're trying to build here. We're not just looking at, go out and buy this technology. Learn about it. Learn about it first. Find out what you really want or what you need in this technology, if it even works for you at all. Maybe none of this stuff works for you. Who knows? But if you do want to support the channel, guys, we have affiliate links all over that buy me a coffee and things like that. And that helps us grow and get our message out there to help other people learn about it. This is something that we'd really, really like to do full time. I'm really infatuated with this technology. It's caught me by fire. As you can see, I have been putting our money where our mouth is. We're buying this technology. This isn't given to us. We bought both of these. And we really use it every day, as you see. And we were brave enough to put, not like a commercial video out, guys. We put this system on the internet for a year. And like, I don't know how many videos, maybe 40, 50, 60. I lost track. I really did. But we put our money where our mouth is. And to let other people know that what we find that was either good or bad, we let people know about that just to help them. So if you want to be part of that community, get up there and hit that subscriber button. Smash it. Break it if you want to. And be part of the community. Make sure you hit the like button to let other people know that, we're not goofing around on this channel. We want people to learn and educate themselves before they buy this stuff. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and we'll see you next time on Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye, guys.